if you have a license to write. You are certainly literate, David, as I know you are. But we're asking a question tonight. What's in a name? And I suspect you're going to tell us.
Well, looking at surnames tonight, and in fact my surname, Astle, is a corruption of East Hill, as I understand it, and Morecroft. What, Morecroft?
Well, I guess there are probably two options, as much as I understand it. A croft is a Scottish or Northern English farmhouse, I think, and a moor, normally spelled M-O-O-R, is obviously a big open space, but mine's M-O-R-E. There's another version which somebody mentioned to me once where croft is actually a type of reed that people used to cut down from the riverbanks to thatch houses or something of that sort. So Morecroft might have been someone who was a particularly good reed cutter.
Well, credit to you, sir. And what about Serna, Lily?
Well, I believe it means small deer in Slovenian, so...
Okay. Well, a superlative harvester and a small deer. Now, other surnames have more common origins. It's usually lineage or its occupation, such as butcher, baker, carpenter, or less common ones, such as Fletcher, which was a maker of arrows. A chandler was a seller of candles, and a chamberlain was actually someone who was the lord or sort of a steward of a lord's house or a monarch's house, or a butler for that matter. And
I mean, we think of a really common name, well, in Anglo-Saxon circles, I guess, like Smith,
yes,
you know, which we think is hugely common, and yet presumably that referred to blacksmith, which actually as an occupation now is probably anything but hugely common.
That's right. Imagine what the modern surname would be. You know, it'd be sort of programmer or, hacker or something like that. But it is fascinating looking at the origins of surnames and how they relate to so many occupations that are no longer with us.
Lovely look at names. Thank you, David.
Pleasure.
Let's look at the scores. And Steve is on 14, Jane is on 19, and let's have some more letters. Steve.
Consonant, please.
Thanks, Steve. D.
Another consonant?
T.
Consonant.
M.
Consonant.
C.
Vowel, please.
A.
Vowel.
E.
Consonant.
S.
Consonant.
N.
And I'll finish with a vowel, please.
And last letter, O.
30 seconds. How did you go, Steve?
A 6.
6 for you, Jane?
7.
Hold back for a moment. Let's have the 6 first.
Dancers.
And yours, Jane?
Decants.
Happy, David?
Happy. In fact, it's fascinating. They almost have the same selection process, both Steve and Jane there, with consonants and then vowels. I couldn't better that. Coasted was another 7.
Nicely done, and a very good score for Jane, 7 points. Let's keep our letters rolling, and Jane, you're scoring well. What would you like this time?
Start with a consonant, please, Lily.
Thanks, Jane. D.
Another one.
F.
A third.
H.
A fourth, please.
N.
A fifth.
R.
A vowel, please.
I.
Another vowel.
E.
Another vowel, please.
A.
And a final consonant, thank you.
C.
Thinking time. go?
I've got a 7.
7, sounds good again. Steve?
7 as well, Richard.
That also sounds good. Let's start with yours.
Hinders.
And yours, Jane?
Handier.
They're great words, aren't they, David?
They are. Handier is a riskier play. I think you'll find, Jane, but I do need to see it listed. Because of that comparative area and the spelling shift, we know that hinders is good, but let's check handier. Handier. Handy to hear, Jane. It is listed.
Yes.
Well done. Good 7s.
And you found...
I found echidnas for 8, Richard.
Oh, lovely. Nice little bit of wildlife in the mix. Jane and Steve, 7 each. We're back to the numbers again, but just before we go too much further with the numbers, I'm still fascinated by your name, that Serna being little deer. So is that like any kind of little deer, or like is a Serna a little deer?
I think in Slovenian, SRNA is a type of deer that happens to be quite small, I think.
Okay, so it's not like you're named after a moose or a caribou or a huge
yeah, it's tiny.
deer. It's a little petite deer.
Cute, yeah.
Thank you for that clarification, Lily. Let's have some numbers, too.
Okay, Lily. 1 large and 5 small, please.
Thanks, Steve. 1 large and 5 small. And our numbers: 9, 6, 7, 2, 1, and the large 100. The target to reach is 684.
Away we go. Well, Steve, were you happy with those?
Yes, 684.
684, spot on the target. I thought you might have been. Jane?
No, I was 2 off with 682.
682. Okay, bad luck. But Steve, what did you do?
Okay, Lily. 7 times 100.
7 times 100 is
700.
700.
Then 9
9
plus 6
plus 6
plus 1,
plus 1.
16.
Yep.
And take the 16 away from 700, 684.
Well done. 684.
Very nice method indeed, and right to that target. Lily, any variations?
Yeah, look, there is actually a number of ways to do this, and here's one of them. Now, 684 divided by 6 is 114, so 100 plus 9 plus 7 minus 2, which is 5, is 114. 5 is 6 is 684.
That's a very nice method. I like the one-line approaches. Good stuff, Lily. A very important 10 points for Steve, bringing his score now to 31. Jane is only 2 points ahead on 33 as we head for our next break. And your next word mix, which is ingot rib. The clue this time, doing the rounds. Back soon.